All right. Do you remember I told you that this government was going to find a way to get away from defunding ACORN? They were going to get around that. I said, don't get so excited. Community organization group that has been tainted by numerous scandals, or so they tell me. Have they found a backdoor way to fund them? Well, believe it or not, after October 31st, ACORN can start getting funds again. That ban, they were serious. From August all the way to the end of October, I think they learned their lesson. And thanks to Barney Frank, they could get an even bigger boost for the expansion of the Community Reinvestment Act, H.R. 1479, for those of you who count those things by numbers. As you may remember, or not, the CRA, the Community Reinvestment Act, is the thing that makes banks lend money to people they don't want to loan money to because they have very low income and they're most likely to go under. It's often cited as one of the chief causes of the subprime mortgage meltdown. But Washington has learned their lesson and they want to expand it. But there's also really good news from Minnesota Congresswoman Michele Bachmann. Hello, Congresswoman, how are you?
I'm doing great, Glenn. Thanks for having me on.
Good. You broke some news this morning on my radio program about ACORN, and I find this absolutely incredible. Tell the American people what they've already been doing and what the expansion of this CRA thing means.
Well, it's stunning, Glenn. Just as you said, the Community Reinvestment Act is a creation of the federal government forcing private banks to make home mortgages to people who are very poor credit risks. No bank wants to do that. So the federal government, in effect, threatens banks and says, we're going to close down your interstate bank, or we won't let you expand unless you make these bad loans to people or make loans that are unlikely to get repaid.
Okay.
Well, why would a bank want to do that?
Okay, hang on just a second. Not only is the federal government saying that if you won't make loans to these people that shouldn't have loans, then if you don't make loans to them, we're not going to let your bank expand. We won't, let you go into other areas and states, et cetera, et cetera. But also you have the other element, which is the what did Barack Obama say? The actual coalitions of power, including the community organizing. They also send ACORN out. So you've got the PR nightmare for the bank and the federal government breathing down. But the federal government, in their great wisdom, has given these banks an out over the years.
That's right. That's right. They have told banks, in order to get a positive Community Reinvestment Act rating, and you have to get a good rating from the regulator,
sure,
banks were able to give either cash gifts to ACORN or equipment gifts, an in-kind donation, or partner with ACORN to make these loans to people in the community. Yes. So a bank, instead of making outright loans to people who are poor credit risk, could give money to ACORN in order to get this positive Community Reinvestment Act rating. And we've uncovered data of banks all across the country that made these gifts of money to ACORN, equipment gifts, or partnered with ACORN in order to get a good rating so they get out from under the radar screen of the federal government. In other words, so they don't get their interstate branch banks shut down, or so that they can expand.